One spot, four faces. Who will start for Brazil? One spot, four faces. All four are in the squad. But who among them will start in Brazil's main lineup? Cunha, Pedro, Richarlison, or Caio Jorge? All have already been called up by Ancelotti, but the discussion has begun about who will wear the number 9 against Chile. Coach Ancelotti himself is not overly worried about this sweet problem of the number 9. He has included all the number 9s under discussion in the squad. So, there is no shortage of options. 4 strikers are ready. But the challenge is clear. Only one can play in the starting 11. Each player has a different case for being chosen. Matheus Cunha has been in good form recently, since earning national team opportunities. Richarlison, Ancelotti's favorite protege, requires continuity in the coach's plans. Caio Jorge is in excellent form, scoring goals consistently, filling the need to break goal droughts. And Pedro has been playing consistently against tough opponents in top leagues. So, the coach could pick any of them for the starting 11. But the question remains, who will start? Here, Ancelotti has set up a hypothetical. 3 of the 4 play in the Premier League. Among them, although 2 are strikers, some can also operate as attacking midfielders. In the Brazil squad, there is currently only one dedicated attacking midfielder in the starting lineup, Lucas Paqueta, but his chances of playing are low. So, this spot will likely be filled by either Matheus Cunha or Pedro. Cunha has performed well in this position for Brazil, so his chances of starting are higher. However, Pedro's recent form and experience also make him a strong candidate. Ultimately, who fills this midfield role will depend on the coach's plan and the match situation. The striking situation is slightly different. Richarlison has assisted 3 goals in his last 2 matches. Ancelotti has relied on him for a long time, but many fans don't want to see him in the starting 11 because he occasionally loses possession. In this scenario, Caio Jorge could be the solution. With Rafinha and Martinelli on the wings, the goal-scoring responsibility could be given to Jorge, something he excels at in the Brazilian league. If the coach wishes, Pedro could start as a striker, while Jorge or Richarlison are kept as substitutes. In that case, a replacement for Lucas Paqueta as the attacking midfielder would also be needed. So, who starts? Jorge or Richarlison will depend entirely on Ancelotti's strategy and the match circumstances. In summary, Ancelotti is considering all 4 players. Each brings different strengths and skills. Cunha, Pedro, Richarlison, and Caio Jorge all must be considered in terms of form and movement. Therefore, to know exactly who will start, one will have to wait until the Chile match. A few other points are also noteworthy. Neymar Jr. has not yet returned to the team, so his absence must be addressed. Moreover, Ancelotti mainly chooses players who can play in multiple positions depending on the match type and opponent strength. In other words, importance is given not only to strikers, but also to those capable of playing as attacking midfielders. Depending on the match, even if one player starts, the others will play important roles as substitutes. For example, if goals are needed or tactical changes are required, Richarlison or Caio Jorge could be brought on, with Lucas Paqueta holding the midfield. This strategy gives the team flexibility and strength at critical moments. Looking at the players' different forms, it's clear why Ancelotti has kept all 4. Matheus Cunha is valuable for his dynamism and midfield ability. Pedro is deserving for his consistency and experience against strong opponents. Richarlison is the coach's favorite and skilled at long passes. Caio Jorge is a potential solution for scoring goals and playing from the wing. Therefore, any of the 4 could have a chance, but who starts will ultimately depend on tactical decisions. For Brazil, this sweet problem means that every player is proficient in their role. Ancelotti will use this opportunity to select the right starting 11 for the Chile match. Fans will have to wait until then to see who starts and who takes on the key substitute roles. In short, Cunha, Pedro, Richarlison, and Caio Jorge are all in the squad, but who takes the single starting spot will entirely depend on Ancelotti's strategy in the match situation. This selection, based on Brazil's strength, form, and match demands, is what could be called the number 9 sweet problem.